On Sunday, which said that the NSA had eavesdropped on top politicians in France, Germany, Sweden and Norway during the years 2012 to 2014. Well, according to that report, this allowed the US to access text messages, phone calls and internet traffic. Well, here's what the French president had to say about all of this.
I want to say in an extremely clear manner that this is not acceptable between allies, even less between allies and European partners. I'm attached to the ties of trust which unite Europeans and Americans. In that regard, we have everything to do for our common security. There is no room between us for suspicion. That's why we're waiting for complete clarity. We've asked our Danish and American partners to issue all the information on these revelations and on past events, and we are waiting for those answers.
The French president speaking there. Well, let's get more now from our international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Philip, how did the US use Denmark to spy on European officials, and who was concerned?
Well, first of all, Tom, those answers that Emmanuel Macron's just been asking for, they're not forthcoming at the moment. There's been no statement from either Denmark or the United States on exactly what happened. What this report says, this report goes back to 2015, that's 6 years ago, and it's only 9 whistleblowers in Denmark who saw the report, who reported the findings to the Danish television network DR, which has now released them, which leads one to believe that Denmark didn't really want these findings to be made public at all. This is classified information. So what it says basically is that there was a partnership between the NSA in the United States and Danish intelligence. And that partnership led to the United States being able to use these cables, these undersea cables, which carry internet information, to spy on European leaders. The most notable European leader cited in this report is Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, but also cited is the current German President and former Foreign Minister, Franz-Walter Steinmeier, and a couple of other German officials. But as you were saying, also there are people who are quoted as being in Sweden and Norway and also in France and also in the Netherlands. We don't know the names of those people, but that is why France has come out here and said, well, look, this is very serious. We need to know what is going on. And that makes one pose several questions. The first one is, why did Denmark say nothing about this when this report was issued in 2015? It's 6 years later, and nothing has come out until now, until these whistleblowers have come forward and said this is what we've seen in this report. And the second thing is that in 2013, Edward Snowden, the US CIA operative, blew the whistle on the United States and then went and took refuge in Russia, saying that the United States was spying on several of its allies. So already we knew in 2013 that this was happening. And these findings say that this spying took place using these Danish cables by the NSA between 2013 and 2014, which is right in the middle of the Edward Snowden scandal and after the Edward Snowden scandal became public knowledge. So in other words, this spying continued after that, even though the United States said it was going to come to an end. So there are many questions tonight which need answering. And I think the big question here is, what did Denmark know? Did the Danish authorities give the green light for this to go ahead, or did they not give the green light? And in both cases, this is pretty serious, because if they did give the green light, that means they are giving information away to the United States on their allies. And if they didn't give the green light, that means the United States is spying using Danish equipment, and Denmark didn't know about it, and there was a shortfall somewhere down the line. So in both cases, it is very serious.
Indeed. And just briefly, if you will, what's been the reaction from the countries concerned, Philip?
Well, as you just heard, France is asking for an explanation. There have been similar requests for information from Sweden as well. Sweden says it hasn't received any information from Denmark. What's been the reaction from Denmark so far has been from the Defence Minister, Trine Bramsen, who said that she condemned spying between different nations, especially when they were allies, but she has not said whether Denmark knew about this or why Denmark spent so long in not revealing these findings, and why it was actually only whistleblowers which blew cover and revealed this to the Danish network, and that led to it being broadcast by other European networks around the EU.